So Alviera is 1,700-hectare master plan development in the north, and it is the largest estate of Ayala land in the north by far. It is a joint venture project by Ayala Land and Leonia Land with the aim to boost the economic potential of Porac, its region. And then one of the many things that Alviera takes pride of course, it's its strategic location. It is located in the heart of Central Luzon. There is almost a 1.8 trillion of government infrastructure that Alviera is bound. We have NLEX, SLEX, of course, not to mention the most anticipated Clark Airport expansion in the new Manila Bulacan International Airport. So Alviera is bound to benefit in all of these transportation benefits, both in land and in air. And then in both regional and local connection, Alviera also has its very strategic location. In terms of regional connection, we are 1.5 hours or 2 hours away from Manila. And then from local connection, from Porac Town, we're just 10 minutes away. If we're going to the other towns in Pampanga, we're just around 15 to 20 minutes away from Angeles, San Fernando, Florida Blanca, and Bacolor. There. In terms of the master plan, again, we are 1,714 hectare in total gross land area. And out of that 1,700, we have activated approximately 400 hectare. Each of the components are flashed on screen. We have residential, which eats up most of the launched and activated parcel. So we already know that there's ALP, we have Avida, and then we also have Alveo. And then we also have our leisure component in yellow, composed of our very own Alviera Country Club. We also have our very own sandbox. And then in terms of commercial component, we have Alviera East Commercial in the East District, and we also have our recently launched Alviera A Block in the CBD. In terms of industrial, we have 2 blocks, which we successfully sold out already in the East. And currently, we are targeting to operate the Industrial Park Phase 2. For institutional, we have kicked off 2 successful engagements. We have Miriam College, and then we also have La Salle Botanical Gardens. We'll go into further details with the updates later on. In terms of estate highlights under land dev and infrastructure, of course, with this immense development being 1,700, we really targeted to complement it with the proper land dev and infrastructure. To name, roadways, we also have completely delivered most of the wet and dry utilities, estate lights, water, landscaping, and of course, we're very proud to share that we are fiber optic ready under Converge, PLDT, and our very own Globe Telecom. In terms of activation, after the restrictions and the lockdown, we made sure the estates team that Alviera will be back on track. And with that, we launched Alviera Active Grounds. This is a campaign that aims to launch our signature locator to include Sandbox and then Alviera Country Club. We also added some signature ones to include bike trails and then camping. Last 2022, we recorded around 30,000 foot traffic with all these efforts. And then for 2023, we plan to boost the adventure-filled element of Alviera. So we continued with our bike trails, bike competition. We also hosted the first Northern Expo in Alviera. This is where most camping gears, 4D karting, and I went to the event, there was even a parasailing gears expedition. And then we also added ATV in Alviera, mostly in the terrainy part to complement our existing city cart. We also added additional play equipment in the Sandbox corridor, and we hosted the 4th Alviera Spartan from May 26 to 27, which was attended by around 900 participants from all over the country. So some of the look-aheads for Alviera in 2023 to 2025, of course, we're planning to do our holiday event by the 4th quarter. We are also adding bike trails in the west of Alviera. There is also a plan for a driving range across Sandbox. So it's going to be a 3-hectare driving range to complement most of the activities in the Alviera Country Club. And then we are also planning to seed Shop House in the Central Business District to support the eventual activation of Miriam College. So some highlights for Miriam College, we target to open the physical structure phase 1 by first quarter of 2024, opening some higher education units to include the following. We have Bachelor of Design in Creative Industries down to BS in Environmental Planning. You can see some of the photos here, a render. By the way, Miriam College is designed by architect Lor Calma, and we recently won a design award in London. So this is the actual progress photo. We currently hold the classes online since we already got some enrollees. And then when we finally launch the building, the physical structure next year, we'll be able to transfer all of them in Alviera. Another institutional locator would be La Salle Botanical Gardens. This is the parcel located at the back of the Alviera Country Club. It is a 25-hectare development, and it's going to host different themed gardens with chapel. So we have high hopes in this because this is a first in the country, and we are sure that this is going to be a destination location, not only in Alviera, but in the entire Pampanga. For residential, we're glad to share with you that we have sold approximately 5,000 residential units coming from ALP, Alveo, and then Avida. Currently, we're turning over 4 villages, and we expect to double the build-up within the year up to next year, 2024. In terms of industrial, we're fully sold out, and we have 3 operating locators. We have Mon Denisin, we have Badan Building, they manufacture engineered stones, and then we also have heavy-duty packaging, mostly warehousing. Currently, we have 3 active construction. We have Philchema and Nube Storage, both warehousing, and then the one you're seeing here in the photo, this is Philippine Spring Water, or the maker of Nature Spring, bottled water. They are currently 70% completed in their building, and they hope to operate by end of the year up to the first quarter of 2024. So we're seeing a lot of traction and activation. We're hoping that this would further kick off more commercial and retail engagement within the estate. Going to the commercial component, if you can remember last 2017, we launched Alviera East Commercial in the East District of Alviera. This aims to support the growing community here and the industrial workers. Since 2017, we already sold approximately 16 units, and we are currently down to the last 4. We're 70% sold. And then our price per square meter now is around 60,000 or 14,000 in terms of our KGAR. With this 4 units remaining, we deem that it is necessary to replenish our inventory. But since we no longer have any parcel in the east available for commercial, we see fit to launch another commercial development in the prime central business district of Alviera. Hence, we launched first quarter of 2023, the very first commercial offering in Alviera Central Business District, and we called it as Alviera A Block. This is going to be a 6-hectare development with these key selling pillars. Number 1, it's going to be the first commercial development in Alviera CBD, which is modern, functional, and progressive. We also aim to have a walkable commercial hub because this is just across Miriam College and within the vicinity of Alviera Country Club. And consistent to the value proposition of Alviera, we plan to put a network of green open spaces and 3-line pedestrian to fulfill the urban living in nature promise. As you can see, so for the purpose of discussion, this is our Alviera master plan, and zooming in here is the Alviera Central Business District. This is a total of 80-hectare parcel that is aimed to house more corporate headquarters, institutional partners, key establishments like hospitals, and regional malls. So if you can see, this is Alviera Country Club, this is Miriam College, and this is Alviera A Block. It's going to be bound by 2 estate roads in the corner here. And then the ones you see here are the green open spaces connecting the entire CBD. So this is just some of the render of the vicinity of A Block. The first phase that we launched is this phase in the corner. This is going to be 12 lots only. So it's very limited. And currently, Sir Deo, if I'm correct, we have reserved 2 lots. So we are now left with only 10 lots to choose from. And we just launched this, how many? 2 months ago? So this is just showing the design inspiration of A Block. The internal road will be peppered with various landscape treatments to include different trees and shrubs. There would also be sitting capacities. The ones that we already reserved are these. So this is Block 2, Lot 1, and Block 2, Lot 2, approximately 250 million combined. So for the interested buyers, there are still good options, very competitive ones. We have the corner units here, the one here, and we have 4 regular lots in this corner. There's still an opportunity for future dev in this area. This is Miriam College, and this is where we are going to seed our shop house. We are starting with the planning, and we plan to launch this by early 2025. So this would have to support the retail activities that are bound to happen within the Miriam College complex. In terms of area, if East Commercial is around 2,000 square meter, A Block is just around 1,500, a little smaller. And then we are going to sell at around 70,000 per square. So that's around 120 million per lot. So that's A Block. And then, if you still have buyers who are interested in readily available lots, we now, of course, have East Commercial with limited number of lots available. We only have 4, and we are currently selling at around 60 to 65,000 per square. The available lots are over here, the green ones, significantly bigger at around 2,000 to 3,000 square meter. And I think that's about it for Alviera. Thank you.
Thank you, Luigi. Round of applause, please. Happy selling daw.
Happy
Are we
selling.
happy? Oh, you're not so confident. Are we happy?
Happy! May tumbler eh.
Again, thank you, Luigi.
Guys, do you have any questions?
Yeah, we're opening the floor for,
Yes, let's do this.
for Alviera.
Questions? Wala silang question.
You may begin to. There's a question from Iris.
Hi.
I didn't hear there was an FAR for the A block.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention. Our floor area ratio for A block is 4. 4. Yes.
You may notice most of our estates, they're all at FAR 4, except for South Coast City at FAR 12. Arca South is FAR 10. And the only varied estate with so much number of FAR ratios is Broadfield. They have FAR 9, FAR 7, FAR 6, and FAR 4. Now, going back to Alviera, you may begin to wonder the pricing scheme that we have. It's only 62,000 for Alviera East Commercial because those are bigger cuts, and it's catering to the residential enclave bounded by the industrial locator and another institutional locator. However, we priced Alviera A Block being bite-sized cuts or affordable and right at the center of the estate of Alviera. So that's the difference. If they want something that's ready, East Block, big cuts lang.
Hi. Is there a limit on the basement na parking, like levels for A block or
There-
for any other commercial?
Well, in all of
Natin.
our estates, there's no limit
Yes.
to the basement parking levels.
Correct. That's correct.
We just set the minimum.
Correct.
And it always naman, it's accordance to the National Building Code. How many levels you'd like to
Yes.
have. Of course, it should be appropriate for the number of parking slots. But we only set the minimum. The investor can either come up with more basement parking levels. And they're not part of the GFA count,
Yes.
both podium and basement.
And so long as structurally it's feasible, Sir Deo, it should be okay.
That's a major concern.
Yes.
And what's the buildable maximum percentage on the ground floor?
It's going to be 80%.
80.
More or
Yes.
less 80. Because
Yes.
it's built to line. Diba?
Yes, correct.
Built to line eh. Setbacks are only front and rear.
Ah, okay.
So it's very generous.
Oo nga. So, and then the 20% remaining can be as long as there's no structure, pwede ring parking.
You're right,
no?
correct.
Thank you.
Katanungan pa for Alviera.
Sir, if they want to know more about the details of A Block, who do they contact? Si directly if they want the DSG, if they want to get the DSG or other details.
It's us, the
Okay.
sales team. If you want to know the QR code for the DSG, DCCR of each estate, ALSI sellers, for JESA, and for the brokers, your broker manager handling
Right.